Psalms is one of my favorite books in the Bible. I pretty much read a few Psalms every day. I just love to see as people very honestly were wrestling through very difficult stuff going on in their lives. Often King David just pouring out his heart before God, the good, the bad, the doubts, the fears, all the stuff, and yet just a continual refocusing on God and His truth and what really matters and His promises, and finding joy in the middle of all the difficulties. Very real to life. For example, here's a brief verse from Psalm 56, which I read this morning. It says, "In God I trust, I will not be afraid. What can man do to me? I am under vows to you, O God. I will present my thank offerings to you. For you have delivered me from death and my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before God in the light of life." One of my favorite Psalms is number 40, which I memorized the first few verses of with a few friends. And it says, "I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their hope in the Lord." And that's so much of my testimony, and so many millions and millions of Christians around the world who felt like they were in a slimy pit. Maybe it was depression or relational mess, or just a whole combination of things where they'd realized that, man, this life, it's got me trapped and it's going nowhere, and I'm stuck. Maybe stuck in circumstances that I created by my own stupidity, which is most often the case for most of us. But feeling like in that slimy pit of despair and stuck. And it says, God lifted me out, and He did that for me. Put my feet upon a rock, gave me a firm place to stand. His truth, His love, His promises, eternal stuff, His embrace of relationship, eternal promises, that He put my feet on a rock. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. I was not singing any praise at that time when I was stuck in the slimy pit, but now He's put a hymn of praise in my mouth, so that other people who are still in the pit hopefully will hear my little voice and say, whoa, maybe there's something real about this God. So I'm going to keep blabbing about it. I read this recently, I loved it, Psalm 71. "But as for me, I will always have hope. I will praise you more and more. My mouth will tell of your righteousness, of your salvation all day long, though I know not its measure." Listen, who am I, who are any of us to be competent enough to capture and proclaim the measure of this awesome God and His glory and amazingness and love, and how He's powerful and humble, and He's a lover? I can't grasp all of that, but what I do know, I'm going to blab about. Man, I'll blab about a good movie. I'll blab about a great restaurant. What about the one who rescued my butt from the slimy pit of my own despair and misery and depression and stupidity? He rescued me because He loved me, even when I was flipping Him the bird. Man, I'm not going to brag about Him. Heck, no, I am going to brag about Him. And I hope I keep on doing it. No matter how difficult things get here and there in my life, I still stand on a rock. And I have a new song in my mouth. So, hope you don't mind me blabbing about this God that loved me, and He loves you.
Jesus, precious Jesus, you're my Lord.